You think I'm a brute, and you must consider me very prosaic. But the fact is, I've always been fond of you, stubborn though you always were. But don't forget that the first doll you ever had came from me. Where are you going?
You know very well where I'm going.
What sort of a game are you playing?
I'm not playing games.
Antigone, do you realize that if, apart from those 3 guards, even a single soul finds out about what you've tried to do, it would be impossible for me to avoid putting you to death. I can still save you, but only if you keep this to yourself and give up your crazy purpose.
I must go out and bury my brother. Those men uncovered him.
What good will it do? You know that there are other men standing guard over Polynices, don't you? And even if you put a little earth on him, the earth will again be removed.
I know all that. I know it. But that much at least I can do. And what a person can do, a person ought to do.
Tell me, Antigone, do you believe all that flummery about religious burial? Do you really believe that a so-called shade of your brother is condemned to wander forever homeless if a little earth is not flung on his corpse? Have you ever seen the beginning? And maybe your uncle. We are not a particularly affectionate family, are we? Huh? What fun for you, huh? To be able to spit in the face of a king who has all the power in the world, a man who has done his killing in his time, who has killed people just as pitiable as you are, and who's still soft enough to go through all this trouble just in order to keep you from being killed.
Now you're squeezing my arm too tight, Creon. It doesn't hurt anymore.
I shall save you yet. God knows there are other things to be done without wasting my time on an insect like you. I assure you that there is plenty to be done once you put down a revolution. But urgent things can wait, can't they? I will not let politics be the cause of your death. For it is a fact that all this business is nothing but politics. The mournful shade of Polynices, the decomposing corpse, the sentimental weeping, and the hysteria that you mistake for heroism, nothing but politics. Look here, I may not be soft, but I'm fastidious. I like things clean, well scrubbed, ship-shape. And let me tell you that I am just as offended as you are with the thought of that meat rotting under the sun. In the evening, when the breeze comes off the sea, you can smell it in the palace, and it nauseates me. But I refuse even to shut my window. It is disgusting. And I can tell you what I wouldn't tell anybody else. It is stupid, monstrously stupid. But if the feather-headed rabble that I govern are to understand what's what, that stench has got to fill the town for a month.
You are a loathsome man, Creon.
I agree. My trade forces me to be. Now we could argue whether I ought or ought not to follow my trade, but once I take on the job, I must do it properly.
Why do you do it at all?
My dear, I woke up one morning and found myself king of Thebes. God knows there are other things in life I loved more than power.
Then you should have said no for it.
Yes, I could have done that. Only it seemed to me cowardly. I should have been like a workman who put down a job. So I said yes.
So much the worse for you then. I didn't say yes. I can say no to anything I think while and I don't have to count the cost. But because you said yes, all that you can do for all your crowns and your trappings and your guards, all that you can do is to have me killed.
Listen to me now.
If I want to. I don't have to listen to you if I don't want to. There's nothing more you can tell me that I don't know. You stand there drinking in my words. Why is it that you don't call in your guards, huh? I'll tell you why. You want to hear me out to the end. That's why.
You amuse me.
Oh no, I don't. I frighten you. That's why you talk about saving me. Everything would be so much easier if you had a little docile, tongue-tied Antigone living in the palace. I'll tell you something, Uncle Creon. I'll give back one of your own words. You're too fastidious to make a good tyrant. But today, you are going to have me put to death. And that frightens you. God, and you call that being a king?
Yes, I call that being a king.
Poor Creon. My nails are broken. My fingers are bleeding. My arms are covered by the welts left by the paws of your guards. But I am a queen.
Then why not have pity on me and live? Isn't your brother's corpse rotting under my window payment enough for peace and order in Thebes? My son loves you. Do not make me add your life to the payment. I have paid enough.
No, Creon. You have said yes and made yourself the king. Now you will never stop paying.
But God in heaven, won't you try to understand me? I'm trying hard enough to understand you. There had to be one man who said yes. Somebody had to agree to captain the ship. She had sprung 100 leaks. She was loaded to the waterline with crime, ignorance, poverty. Every man Jack on board was about to drown, and only because the only thing they thought of was their own skins and their cheap little day-to-day traffic. Was that a time? Do you think to be playing with words like yes and no? Was that a time for a man to be weighing the pros and cons, wondering whether he's going to lose his life, his family, or his touch with other men? No. You grab the wheel. You ride the ship in the face of a mountain of water. You shout an order, and if one man refuses to obey, you shoot into the mob.